Everyone, welcome to week 9. This screencast is just going to go over the process book instructions for this module. We're just continuing off of project 4 that we started last week, and yeah, we'll just jump right in. Okay, so obviously you know what to do here. Okay, so the first step this week is to do the survey of typographic hierarchy. So we've done things like this in the past. It's just basically gathering examples of typographic hierarchy that are out there in the wild. So what I found was helpful as I was looking through this, I'll show you my example. So hierarchy comes in lots of situations. For this assignment, you're going to want to look for things that are information dense. So we're looking, obviously we're designing this web page for this project, so look for things like web pages, newspapers, magazine layouts, annual reports, brochures, anything that has a lot of parts and is heavy in information so that you can have a good sample of what a hierarchy looks like in a document that has a lot of moving and working parts. So for example here, this newspaper has headlines, subheads, it has a title, a date, has lots of parts working together. So we can see how they use bold font, italic font, body copy. So that's a newspaper. This was a magazine. So you can see they have like a section heading, a pull quote here, a byline, a drop cap. This is kind of more of a table of contents. Here it is in a website, a table of contents, another website. So just kind of have a good sampling of how hierarchy is used in these formats that have a lot of information. So again, I would just Google those terms: newspaper, magazine layout, website layout. Pinterest is where I found all of these. That's a great resource. Yeah, and just find things that have lots of information, lots of parts, like the web page that we will be designing this week. And then just kind of put a little crop in these boxes that show a sample of that hierarchy. Okay, so you're going to fill this page, 12 of those. Alright, this page you will be thumbnailing what your web page is going to look like. So remember last week how we found that interview article that we liked. We dropped it into an InDesign document and laid it out with all that rainbow text where we tagged everything with the different styles depending on the type of information it was. So these are 6 different thumbnails of what that web page will look like. So web pages, when you mock them up, are usually shown in this really long format because if you're imagining viewing this on the screen, your screen might only be this big, but then as you scroll, you see the whole thing. So it's designed when you are designing or mocking up these things, usually it's a long rectangle, although you'll only see a little rectangle at a time on a screen. So it wants you to lay out 6 of these. So just think of the elements that we were working with last week, such as the site headline, the navigation bar. This would be like a title and a subhead, a photo, body copy, a pull quote maybe. Hopefully yours are a little more detailed than my quick sketch here. You'll be sketching these by hand as well. So yeah, just think of those elements and kind of imagine how you would lay them out on the page and then do 6 variations of that. Okay, now the fun part. So let's jump back over to this file that we started last week. So at the end of last week, you should have ended up with something like this rainbow text document with all of these items tagged in your paragraph style sheet. So let's read the directions and walk through this. Okay, so it wants you to take that rainbow text document from last week and start by adding a header and footer placeholder. So as it says, you're going to be designing this next week. The header footer is like the insight website title and the little navigation bar below it with like home, news, about, contact, that kind of thing. So you'll be designing it next week. So this week it's just a placeholder. It gives you the dimensions, what it should look like, neutral color. Basically you just want it to hold its place. You don't have to design it yet, but you don't want it to be distracting either. So we can look over here. I just put a gray bar. I just kind of straight typed out insight, the information navigation bar, and then same with the footer. I just dropped in a box to represent the footer. So don't worry about designing this yet. Just type it out, put a box in place. It's just holding the place right now. All right, so that's header footer. Now we're going to get into designing the type. So it would like you to start with the body copy as the first piece of type in this hierarchy that you'll be designing. So as it says, the default body copy in most browsers is 16 point. So when you're looking at something on a screen, 16 point is usually around 15 or 16 is a good place to start, it says. So start with making it 16 point and then design the copy. So let's look over here to see how that's done. So you can just follow along with me. So this is kind of where you left off last time. So this green text is my body copy. So you can see over here in my paragraph styles, oops, this section is labeled as body copy. It's been tagged. So when I want to change what that style looks like, I will just start changing it live in the document. So let's pull up right here. Whoop. Bring that back up. Okay, so let's say I want it to be Baskerville Roman. And like it said, let's start with 16 point. I don't want it to be green, I'd like it to be black. And let's set my leading a little bit smaller. Okay, so if I like the way that looks for my body copy, I think it looks good, then I will select what I just did, come over here to the paragraph style, and now you can see it says body copy plus. That means this has been tagged as body copy, but I have made a change to it. The little plus means it's been changed. So to update it, I would go up here and I would say redefine style. Now that plus is gone, so this is what the new body copy style looks like. And if we scroll down, we can see that all the other places there was green text, it's now been updated to this size 16 Baskerville black, because that's what I've stated as the body copy. So it updates it in your whole document. So you can see how this is really useful when you're designing long format text, to just make a change in one place and have it universally update throughout your document. So now that we've done that step, we're just going to go through. We've done the body copy first, and now we've updated the paragraph style. That's just what I showed you how to do. And now you're going to do that for all the other styles in the document. So I won't do them all, but basically you'll go through and just do that same thing again. So we'll do the title here. So as you see, it's headline is what it's currently tagged as, but I'm going to change it. I want my headline to be, let's say, Trade Gothic, bold, and let's make it all capitals, and say I want it to be fairly large, and I don't want it to be blue anymore. Let's make it, let's go over here. Say I want it to be yellow. Okay, and now that we've changed that, we want to come over here and see how it says headline plus. So we want to redefine that style. Let me redefine the style. Well, let's see, we might be working this out together. Why would it not want me to redefine the style? There we go. I must not have selected it right. Well, make sure that you've selected the line right, and you'll be able to redefine it. There. Learning together. So, yeah, and just go through everything and do that. So the subheadline, maybe I want that to also be Baskerville, but I want it to be italic. Make it 18, and I want it to be black. Okay, and now I come over here. You see the plus means it's been changed, and we're going to redefine the style. Now everywhere there's a subheadline will look like that. So just go through and take all your rainbow text and change it into nice looking text that looks like it could be found on a website. And this is your first draft of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect yet. You're going to have 2 more weeks of cleaning it up and getting feedback. But just it's starting to kind of take shape at this point. It's starting to look like a real website would, a real piece of journalism with a real style sheet. So I believe that is the end. Let's see, yep, finish the first draft, and then when it's done, make a PDF of it and drop it in to the process book on this page. Things like a photo are nice to add in there. As you notice that I added a photo in there that wasn't part of last week's. Again, that will change in the upcoming weeks, but it's good to just have a placeholder, so I drop in a photo as well. But I think that is pretty much it for this week. Yep, and then as usual, you do the type drawing activities, the visual audit, and the ponder module. And that's it. Good luck.